Welcome, guests. Please turn your attention to the screens as we begin our program with a message from Stacy Stewart, President and CEO of March of Dimes.
Welcome, and thank you for coming together in support of moms and babies when they need us the most. How we connect at our events may look different during COVID-19 pandemic, but our shared commitment to giving all families the best possible start is as strong as ever. As you know, the United States is among the most dangerous developed nations in the world in which to give birth. And that's under the best of circumstances. Thanks to your support, we're able to continue fighting the serious maternal and infant health issues that affect our communities. We can be there for every family, those who've had their firsthand hardships, those celebrating their health, and those just trying to start their families. So get ready to have some great experiences at our now virtual events and see how our mission works to improve the health of moms, babies, and their families in your community and everywhere. Thank you and enjoy.
Thank you for leading the way, Stacy. Welcome, everyone. I'm Lori Jennings. It's an honor to join you as your MC for the 25th Annual Women of Distinction. We're going to enjoy each other's company in a virtual setting and raise critical funds to support March of Dimes. The way we're coming together has changed, but our dedication to fighting for all moms and babies is as strong as ever, and we all feel that. Our country is facing an urgent maternal and child health crisis that has only intensified with the COVID-19 pandemic. Every 12 hours, a woman dies due to complications from pregnancy. Every day, 2 babies die. And these numbers are disproportionately higher for moms and babies of color. March of Dimes works in communities all across the country to reduce the rising rates of preterm birth, as well as maternal and infant mortality and morbidity. They support families before, during, and after pregnancy to ensure that all moms and babies get the very best possible start. And we're here today to make an impact for all families. So to do that, we need you all to take part throughout the program. So be sure to chat it up with us in our Join the Conversation section. We want to hear from you, so please chat away. Right there on the sides of your screen, a little hello you can type out, or a few thoughts about your connection to March of Dimes. And do know that you can text the word baby with a dollar amount and your name to 41444 to make a donation anytime throughout the program. And once you text the number, you'll get a virtual form to fill out with your donation information. So what do you say we get started? You can watch the thermometer heat on up to see the generosity of our community during the program. Women of Distinction, so you know, it honors and celebrates women leaders in South Florida, chosen by the community and selected by an esteemed committee of past recipients and distinguished female leaders. The longest running testimonial program has honored more than 240 women innovators, influencers, philanthropists, and entrepreneurs who have really affected change in our community and beyond. As a NICU mom of twin boys born at just 24 and a half weeks and a Woman of Distinction honoree from last year, I know the support, kindness, and research that's generated by March of Dimes. Back in 2006, a team from Continental Airlines walked in honor of my boys at the March for Babies when my husband and I were in the thick of it, 4.5 months, every day and night in the hospital. And when my boys finally pulled through and we got to bring them home, I promised I would walk for other preemies, and I've co-hosted the March for Babies ever since. It is a tremendous bond that we all share through March of Dimes, and that is why we are here today. Our presenting sponsor, Memorial Healthcare System, really understands that bond, and we can't thank them enough. Thank you, Memorial, for making this happen. March of Dimes empowers every family to get the right support and care when they need it the most. A healthy birth for every child is the goal, and that's worth striving for. Together, we can make that a reality, and we are so fortunate to have a powerhouse force to chair our event, Elaine Vasquez. With her tireless leadership and a stellar committee, we've been able to pivot without missing a beat. Elaine, I give the floor to you.
Thank you, Lori. We're here today to celebrate 13 fantastic women from South Florida. We'll get the opportunity to meet all of them in just a few minutes. Today is also about supporting the March of Dimes, healthy moms, and strong babies. But it's hard not to notice the difference in our event as we gather virtually this year. Personally, I am grateful for this wonderful organization, the March of Dimes, fighting to improve the health of families, just as they've done for more than 80 years. I have been a long-time supporter of the March of Dimes. A personal thank you to our committee this year. I'd like to recognize Cheryl Brown, Roger Hicks, Tamala Hyler, Deidre Jordan, our founder, Dr. Wilhelmina Mack, and Rhonda Mensa, for dedicating their time and talent to support this fantastic event. Let's give them all a virtual round of applause.
Thank you for all you do, Elaine. And you always manage to rally support from the very best sponsors. Here's a message from Memorial Healthcare System, our presenting sponsor today. Their unwavering commitment to the March of Dimes mission makes a huge impact.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Peter Powers, CEO of Memorial Regional Hospital. I want to congratulate the recipients this year, the Women of Honor. I especially want to congratulate Harula Norden, one of our very own. We're proud to be a presenting sponsor. Memorial Healthcare System births a lot of babies each year, and we're very proud to be a partner with the March of Dimes. It's incredibly important that each baby gets the best chance possible starting out, and we're a very, very proud partner to be working with you on this important event.
Hi, I'm Leah Carpenter. I'm the CEO here at Memorial Hospital West, and I can't tell you how thrilled I am to offer a very special congratulations to my colleague Harula, and also to my dear friend Letitia, who will both be receiving the Woman of Distinction Award this year from the March of Dimes. As a former recipient, also as a previous chair of the March of Dimes Walk for Babies 2 years in a row, this cause is special to my heart, not only to mine, but to the hearts of many of the Memorial Healthcare System employees who work tirelessly in our family birthplace. Thank you.
Our presenting sponsor, Memorial Healthcare System. Thank you. And we are so blessed by our other sponsors who helped make today a reality and a true success for moms and babies. Our gold sponsor today, Broward Health. And our silver sponsors are JM Family Incorporated, Memorial Hospital Miramar medical staff, and Synovus. Our media sponsor is Lifestyle Media Group. Thank you all so much. Remember to keep texting the word baby with a dollar amount and your name to 41444 to make a donation anytime in the program. And just keep on watching that thermometer warm up and heat up as you keep giving. And now, what we've all been waiting for, our 13 amazing 2020 Women of Distinction. We asked the women to share a little bit about themselves and a few life lessons learned. We're excited to hear what they have to say. So please join me in welcoming this year's honorees.
My name is Leslie Cartaya-Franco, and I am Vice President at O'Connell & Goldberg Public Relations. Since this event celebrates the March of Dimes, which helps so many women and children around South Florida, I decided to do my fun facts a little differently, and I asked my kids. So here we go. Number 1, my 6-year-old says that I am the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich maker this side of the Mississippi. He also says that I'm really smart because I know a lot about dinosaurs and because I know every song lyric to the music we play during dinner. And finally, my 18-month-old daughter pointed to her head and said, "Bo!" So I guess I must be good at doing pigtails and ponytails, and I definitely can't wait to give her the intricate braids and updos that I've done for her older cousins since they were kids. So there you have it. 3 interesting facts about me from the 2 most important people in my life, my 2 kids. Thank you for celebrating with us today, and thank you for making me one of your women of distinction. Enjoy.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Cohen, and I'm very honored to be named as a woman of distinction. I work as the development officer for Handy. 3 fun facts about myself are: I have fostered more than 400 shelter animals. I have seen Cheap Trick 87 times. And while it definitely wasn't fun, my twin daughters were born at 30 weeks and 5 days of my pregnancy. Here's advice I would give to my 20-year-old self. You are responsible for your own happiness. Live with intention and conviction. And when you see injustice and think someone should do something about that, remember that you are someone. Never jeopardize your integrity. Travel as often as possible. Pursue a career doing something you love. Take risks and don't be afraid to fail. Life is short, so make time for your friends and your family. Be kind to people and animals every chance you get. Live in gratitude. Dream big, but always have a plan. When you become a mother, cherish those nights, even when you have spit up on your shoulders and you haven't had a shower in 2 days. And most of all, always know your worth.
Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Clara Diaz-Leal, and it is an honor to be among such distinguished ladies today. Thank you, March of Dimes, for this wonderful recognition. I am the Retail Executive and Market President for Bank United in Miami-Dade County, where I run our consumer and small business operations. 3 fun facts. I am the grandmother to 5 amazing grandkids, one of which is a preemie. I love the beach, and I may in fact be a mermaid. And third, I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, and yes, I can break concrete with my hands. Important advice I'd give my 20-year-old self. Start investing early. Invest early and invest well. Put it in a 401k or an IRA the minute you get your first job. It will serve you well. There's tremendous freedom in not having to worry about where your next dollar comes from later on in life. Second, the most important, build friendships that last a lifetime. Invest time in building a tribe. You will lean on them and they will lean on you in tough times. Life is not always easy. Last but not least, smile and be kind. The world is always watching you.
Good afternoon, and thank you, March of Dimes, for the honor of being named one of the women of distinction. And congratulations to the other recipients as well. My name is Letitia Dotson Hall, and I am the Executive Director of the Richard P. Hall Eagles Foundation and a proud veteran of the United States Air Force. 3 fun facts about myself are that during the 1996 Summer Olympic Games, I had the opportunity to co-organize the last 257 community celebrations in the Olympic torch relay before Muhammad Ali lit the cauldron at the opening ceremony. Also, in high school, I ran cross-country track, and then 30 years later, I ran my first marathon as a lupus survivor. And lastly, I love lipstick. I even found myself not being able to leave to go to the emergency room without it. 3 things I tell my 20-year-old self is to stay present in the moment, because life's experiences and memories outlive all the stuff. And to keep your heart open to mentorship and serving others. And lastly, I will remind myself not to allow fear to get in the way of growing the faith I'm going to need to climb the mountains that are awaiting. Thank you again, March of Dimes.
Hi, I'm Dr. Farzana Hafizullah. I'm chair of the Department of Internal Medicine at Nova Southeastern University's Dr. Kiran C. Patel College of Osteopathic Medicine. I'm also very proudly serving as a board member with the March of Dimes. So 3 fun facts about me. I'll tell you, I love energizing activities. A few different things that, I'd love to share with you. I actually used to climb trees and read my books up there when I was a little girl back in Trinidad. I've enjoyed shooting on the gun range since my college days, and I wake up every single morning to music. My husband would also smile because he knows that I love roller coaster rides. On another note, I am a mother of 4. My oldest, Serena, she's turning 22 next month. My second daughter, Anissa, is 18. Nadia is 15, and my son, Adam, is 10. And then finally, I'll share with you that I'm the first Caribbean American to serve as president of the American Medical Women's Association. That's the oldest women physicians organization here in the US. So what advice would I give my 20-year-old self? I would say, continue with that strong, positive mindset. Don't ever let fear paralyze you. Lead fearlessly, but let compassion and empathy continue to guide you. Thank you so much. And again, I am so deeply honored to be a woman of distinction with the March of Dimes.
Hi, my name is Monica Figueroa King, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Broward Healthy Start Coalition. And I am so honored and so blessed to have been named a March of Dimes Women of Distinction. Very happy to be with you all today. And I wanted to share just a few fun facts about me. One of the very first places that I called home was the beach of Puerto Rico, where I lived as a child, literally on the dunes, and had a beautiful life there. Have always enjoyed the beach. Another fact is I ran a marathon. I only did it once, but I did do it. And then third is I love to dance. It's really, so I find joy in everything. And then lastly is advice I'd give my 20-year-old self is really to lean in, to take advantage, be present, and to really just embrace the moment. And if you have an opportunity that presents itself, take advantage. Again, thank you all so much for being here, and thank you to the March of Dimes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Merrill, and I'm the president of Merrill Consulting Group. I'm also a corporate director on several corporate boards. My professional background is in cybersecurity and telecommunications. I'm also an elected official in Broward County, and I'm very involved in local, state, and national politics. I'm very proud to be one of this year's Women of Distinction, and I thank all the judges for this tremendous honor. It has been wonderful to meet the rest of the honorees this year and learn about their unique backgrounds. We were asked to give 3 fun facts about ourselves that you probably don't know. First, I went and lived in Greece and finished university over there. And at one point, I worked on an archaeological dig on the island of Crete in the ancient palace of Knossos. Second, I have raised and trained German Shepherd dogs all my life. And third, in 2019, I organized a massive statewide disaster relief effort from Florida to the Bahamas after Hurricane Dorian. I spent months running loads of disaster relief supplies and toys for the kids in the Bahamas after the hurricane during a very critical time. Advice that I would give my 20-year-old self, don't worry so much. Look at every setback in life as an opportunity. Thank you, everyone, and please continue to support this great organization, the March of Dimes.
Hi, I'm Anna Oliveira. I work for Morgan Stanley as a Senior Vice President, a Financial Advisor. 3 fun facts about myself. I've flown almost 2 million miles. That means like 80 times around the world. I used to be a scuba diver, and I'm also a commodity broker. What advice would I give myself when I was 20 years old is love yourself more than anything. Love conquers all. And always believe in God. God doesn't move. God is always with you, and you will never, ever be afraid. And remember, patience gets everything. With patience, you will get wherever you want to go. And most of all, I love you.
Hi everyone, my name is Harula Protopapadakis Norden. I am the Associate Administrator at Memorial Regional Hospital. I'm going to share some fun facts about myself. When I was in high school, I was prom queen. When I was a little girl, I wanted to be Barbie when I grew up. And if I had to choose a last meal on earth, it would be pizza, pasta, and French fries. Here's some advice I would give to my 20-year-old self. Don't worry about things that are out of your control. Most of the time, those things don't come to fruition. And finally, I want to say thank you to the March of Dimes and congratulations to all my other fellow honorees.
My name is Dr. Patricia Rowe King. I'm the designated institutional official for Broward Health. I'm also the medical director of pediatric services with Pediatric Hospitalist and Pediatric Emergency Room Services. I've practiced here for 24 years. Along my journey here, I have been the past chief of the Department of Pediatrics, and I started the very first pediatric residency training program in Broward County. My passion is to take care of kids and to empower all children, especially those that are the most vulnerable. The hope and the endless possibilities of a child fuel my energy. I do mission work in the community, in the West Indies, and in Belize. If I could talk to my 20-year-old self, I would say several things. Learn from everyone. Build relationships, set yourself daily goals and hold yourself accountable, add value to others, and always, always be grateful.
Hi, I'm Ellie Schrodt, the Director of the Early Steps Program at the Children's Diagnostic and Treatment Center, a subsidiary of Broward Health. I wanted to share a few fun facts about myself. First of all, I began at CDTC in 1992, and they needed someone to test their new brain mapping machine for the research department. I got to do it. I guess I passed the test. Secondly, a fun fact related to my husband, whose bucket list was to do the 2-day mule trip down into the Grand Canyon. Utterly scary, but really a lot of fun. What are some things I would advise my 20-year-old self? First of all, practice perseverance. The best things in life take a lot of dedication and hard work. Never give up. Secondly, practice building relationships with those who have like passions. And third, practice sharing hope. Most important of all. Thank you.
Hi, I am Elaine Wallace, the Dean of the Karen C. Patel College of Osteopathic Medicine at Nova Southeastern University. I first want to thank the March of Dimes for giving me this accolade as one of the 2020 Women of Distinction. I have been asked to share two things with you. First, 3 fun facts about myself, so here they are. First, I am a student of shamanism, the ancient medicine men traditions. I have studied with medicine men and medicine women all over the world. This study has taught me how belief systems can help and hamper in the healing process. It has also helped me keep my mind open to the fact that there are many ways to do things. Second, I am a lifelong learner. I am boarded in 3 specialties in medicine: family medicine, sports medicine, and neuromusculoskeletal medicine. I also hold 4 master's degrees, 1 in higher education administration, 1 in brain-based studies, 1 in curriculum, and the last in criminal justice with a specialty in forensic science. Lastly, I have been to over 100 countries and on all 7 continents, but my favorite countries were Syria before the war and Poland before the Iron Curtain came down. The second thing I've been asked to tell you is what I would go back and tell my 20-year-old self, and this is what I would tell her. I would tell her that someday an older woman is going to approach you and try to tell you something about what you should know at the age of 20. Ignore her totally and run in the other direction. Listen to your heart. Follow the path of your own passion and do the best you can at any given moment. This will be enough in your life. Thank you.
What an accomplished group of women. Congratulations, ladies. And you can read the full bios of these trailblazers in our virtual program book. Now is the time to text the word baby, a dollar amount, and your name to 41444 and make a tribute gift in honor of one or all of our honorees. We have a special treat for you today with our keynote speaker. Allison Maslin is the CEO and founder of Pinnacle Global Network, helping to scale businesses to the next level and turning bosses into leaders. She is a Wall Street Journal best-selling author of Scale or Fail, endorsed by Shark Tank's Damon John and Barbara Corcoran. Allison built 10 successful companies, 10 starting at age 19 and working with clients in more than 60 industries, including Ben & Jerry's, Supercuts, and Charlotte Russe. She and her team of CEO mentors help business owners scale their companies, fast-track their success, and create a more meaningful life. The Pinnacle Global Network, which is her private mentoring and mastermind enterprise, certified by the WBENC, or the Women's Business Enterprise National Council, has guided thousands of business owners over the past 10 years. Allison, take it away.
Scaling a business, whether you're the business owner or you're the executive, takes leadership, creativity, and it takes strategy. Now, you are all leaders, and you're making a big impact in the world. And I'm so honored to be with you here today amongst leaders. And March of Dimes has been making an impact on children and families for decades. Now, let me take you back to 2008. And I am sure many of you remember that time because the recession was in full swing. Well, Kendra Scott, who is the founder of the big jewelry store enterprise, many of you might be fans of her jewelry like I am, at the time had recently closed the doors of her first business, which was a hat store. And she's like, you know what? I'm probably not meant to be in the business world. Well, like most entrepreneurs, they cannot fight that bug. And she began designing jewelry, and she was going from store to store, selling the jewelry. People were loving it. And again, here we were, right at the brink of the recession. And she said, you know what? I'm either all in or forget about it. That's what she said to her team when she said, we're going to open our own Kendra Scott store, when stores were closing their doors all over the country. But she said, I've got to be a leader. I've got to be creative. I've got to be strategic. I've got to be innovative. And so they opened the first color bar because there are jewelry stores everywhere. And they said, we've got to stand out. Well, long story short, going from absolutely nothing and maxing out her credit cards and mortgaging her house just to be able to get this business off the ground is now worth over $1 billion. You see, now more than ever, it truly is scale or fail, and playing it safe is not a business strategy, and it's not a leadership strategy. You might be thinking, well, that's not the time to do this, Allison. This is a time to play it safe. You cannot be afraid of upheaval. You cannot be shying away from challenges, because upheaval and challenges create change, and change opens doors. It's about being that strategic leader so that you can find the loopholes, the gaps, and to be able to follow the demand. If you get sucked into worry and the story, then you're not going to see these brilliant opportunities for big growth and for scaling. And that's exactly what Lego did back in 2009. Again, while businesses were really struggling in the US, they said, where's the demand? And they saw business was doing really well in Asia. Well, let's put our money there. Let's put our marketing dollars there. And because of that, they grew 63%, again, during a difficult time. So it's not about running on that treadmill, running on that hamster wheel, having the business run you into the ground. It's about creative strategy to find that open door. Now, I started my first business when I was 19 years old. I was inspired by my father, who built the largest chain of women's clothing stores in the United States, starting in 1955 all the way to the early 80s. And he had such a passion for his work. I never heard him complain. And so I started out doing personalized poems for birthdays and anniversaries. I was a college student, and I said, hey, Dad, you know, I found my calling. I said, I'm going to be a poet. And he's like, Allie, that's so great. But did you know that poets don't really become known until they're dead? I was like, Dad, you are such a buzzkill. So I said, I'm going to take this poet thing on the road. Well, I learned pretty quickly I was going to have to be writing night and day to be able to make any money when something was $25 a pop. But soon people began to ask me, do you do brochures? Do you do television? Do you do radio? And I would hear my dad's voice in my ear, and he would say, Allie, if someone asked you to do something, even if you don't know how to do it, but you think it's worthwhile, then do it anyway. Say yes, and then figure it out. And I wasn't afraid to ask for help. So I would hang out at the TV station, at the radio station. I'd say, teach me everything I need to know. And by the time I was 25 years old, I had a full-service advertising and public relations firm in San Diego called the Borali Group. And this business exploded. And I had clients like Ben & Jerry's and Supercuts and Allstate, and I was making a lot of money, right? And you would have looked at me back then, you would have thought, wow, this young lady, she has got it together. And for all intents and purposes, I was making a lot of money. But you see, the reality of it was this. I had no life. I was chained to my business. My daughter wasn't even 2 years old yet. I was working around the clock, putting ad campaigns together at 2 a.m. I was absolutely exhausted. I was depressed. And then I was guilty on top of that, right? I thought, what is wrong with me? I should be happy. And I ended up having a horrible car accident from the stress of it all. And that was my big wake-up call. And some of you may have experienced your own form of the wake-up call. But for me, I said, you know what? This is not living. So I made the decision when I walked away miraculously from that accident, and I said, everything I do moving forward, I have to be 100% passionate about it. You see, I loved business, and I knew there were many things that I was doing right, but there were many things that I was doing wrong, and I didn't understand the underpinnings of scaling a business. I knew how to bring business on, I knew how to take care of the client, but I was a control freak. I thought I had to do it all, even though I had a small team. And so I took a year and I said, all right, let's really study what these companies like Ben & Jerry's, like Supercuts, what were they doing to scale their company? And I built a blueprint called the Scale It Method. And from then on, I went and built 9 more companies that I've had an absolute blast with. So what is it that keeps leaders stuck? What is it that keeps businesses small, right? Well, you get into business and, you have your day planned or in your career, you wake up in the morning, you know what you need to do. And then all of a sudden, there's one fire after the next, right? You're following the crisis and you're no longer that executive or the business owner. You're a firefighter, chasing one fire after the next. Or you're trying to dig out of this endless to-do list. You see, what's happening is that you're working in the business, not on the business, and you can't get over that wall. You see, what got you here is not going to get you there. You can't use the same mindset that got you here and expect that to get you there. You can't use the same management practices, the same operational practices, the same marketing practices that got you here and hope and pray that it gets you there. It is futile. So over the last decade, I have been honored to give back and mentor business owners all over the world, my team and I in Pinnacle Global Network. Now, one of our clients that came to us a few years back, his name is Marshall Doyle, and he runs a company called CalCert. It is an engineer calibration company. And he had about 35 employees and, they were doing really well, but he had no life. Like I said, he was working in all areas of the business. He was not scaling. He was choking the growth of his company. So we went in, we restructured his business. We pulled Marshall out and helped shift him from being that boss to being the leader. And everything changed. Well, he has over 100 employees now. He works maybe 2 days in the office, and they've had tremendous growth. And he was able to take a month-long vacation with his wife, and they had not been able to do anything like that in 20 years. So you can imagine she was pretty happy about that. So the Scale It Method, strategic vision, cash flow, alliance of the team, leadership, and execution. It takes all of those components to successfully scale a business. So what I'm going to share with you right now are the 5 phases of scaling. And I go over this in my book, Scale or Fail, which is the Wall Street Journal best-selling book. And I think you guys are going to have an opportunity I think they're going to be giving away some of these books at the end of my talk. So what happens in a business is that oftentimes we get stuck at a level of the business, whether it's your career or you're running the company. And because that becomes your world, you don't realize that just a few shifts here and there could massively take you to the next level, you know, a huge impact. So phase one is the seeker. And the seeker is when you're just putting your passion out there and you're getting that business off of the ground and you're super excited about it and you're just really learning about your revenue stream and the target market, and you know, you're inching along, and it's like you're the 5-woman or 5-man band. You're doing everything and there's no scaling happening there. But we all start in phase one. Phase two is the pioneer. And that is when, you know, you're getting your hands dirty. You know, you're out on the plains and you're getting more clear on your target market. You have a customer journey. You're probably moving towards the 6 figures in your business. And you may have an assistant, a marketing person, hopefully a bookkeeper. And the thing is, you're still approving everything that goes in and out of your business. So you are the bottleneck. Again, not a scalable model. Now, if you are in phase one or phase two, the next level would be phase three, which I call the ringleader. Why is it a ringleader? Because it is a circus in phase three. So let me know if some of you can relate to this. You see, it's a circus because, well, you're building teams in phase three. And teams are like families. And I don't know about you, but sometimes families don't really get along. And in phase three, you aren't super clear on the roles you need to fill. You might just be like, we're out of bandwidth. I need to, you know, fill this position here. Or if it's your career, you jump into a situation and you're not really sure, you're not really understanding the role. And then it becomes a revolving door, right? There's no leadership that's really happening here. The other thing that's happening is that you, as a business owner, like Marshall in the story that I shared earlier, even though you're surrounded by a team, you still feel like you've got to have your hands in everything. You're so afraid that people are going to make a mistake that you don't let go. And guess what? They make mistakes. It's like constantly rescuing your children and they never leave the nest, right? And then your team is confused. They feel like you don't trust them, right? You're stretched too thin. And this is exactly where I was back in those days when I ended up having that car accident. And the thing is, this is a phase. This is a phase. But you know what? So many businesses live here forever, or they die here. You see, you're being the boss in phase three, where you really need to shift and be the leader. Now, there's some good things that are happening in phase three. You're getting more clear on the vision of the company. You thought you knew what it was in phase one, but now you're saying, okay, we have potential here. You're starting to get meetings in place more consistently. You're getting systems in place, but your team is still frustrated, you know, because you are too much in the weeds of your business. So what needs to happen to move to phase four, which I call the co-creator? You see, the co-creator is when you're working with the team, when leaders start to emerge and they're asking these powerful questions like, I've been thinking about this all night and I had some epiphanies on how we could really grow profits. Or, hey, I've got some great ideas to create a better customer journey. I mean, how amazing would that feel if your team was coming to you with those ideas, right? And this is where you're working with the team. It's not top-down mentality. It really is bottom-up mentality, where you are tapping into this creative brilliance of your team. And so in phase four, you start to slowly step back. You give the message to your team that you've got this. And in phase 5, you're the visionary and why you got into this business in the first place. And you're truly working on the business and not in the business. And your role at this point as a leader is to just basically shut up because they've got it handled and you can be out there building relationships. You're on to the next exciting adventure. Now, Bonnie Lucas had come to us in Pinnacle Global Network a few years back, and she'd had her business 20 years. Now, by 20 years, you know a few things about your business. Her company is law enforcement specialists. They work with off-duty police and hire them as security guards. And she was doing well in her business, but she wanted to scale. But this wasn't going to happen because Bonnie was being the boss in her business and not the leader. So we helped step in, restructure her business, and now she doesn't even need to be in the business at all. It's grown by several $1 million. She's got her kids in the business now, and they are taking over. So even if you've been doing what you've been doing for a long time, by just making some small shifts, you open the door for big change and big scale. Our world right now needs your leadership now more than ever. It's time for you to step into your greatness. Now, what do you think is in the way between you and your big dreams? Between you and the impact that you want to make in the world? Well, it's you. You say, we're the ones that are in the way of our biggest scale. But we don't see what's holding us back because our unconscious mind, 96% of our decisions and actions come from our unconscious thinking. And we get stuck in our old story. Think about this. How many times, even today, have you been talking about your old story? With your girlfriends, with your mom, your children, your coworkers. Gosh, life is hard. This is a scary time. You know, I'm not where I want to be. I'm so frustrated. I'm so overwhelmed. My life is crazy. I have no time. Other people can scale, but not me. And even if you're not talking about that story, you might be thinking of that story, or you have your own old story. And the more that you keep talking about that story, keeps you in that reality. Now, I love what Wayne Dyer used to say. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Stop telling that old story. You see, you are the leader. You've got to step up and own it as the leader that you are, and you will start attracting the things, the abundance, the people, the customers, the relationships, the opportunities into your life that you've been dreaming of. But it's not going to happen if you keep holding on to that old story. You have an opportunity right now. We are in an unprecedented time, as you know, and you don't want to miss this time to write a new story. A new story where you're saying things like, I'm creating my own happiness. I'm attracting abundance every single day. I see opportunities everywhere. Open your eyes. I deserve success. Right now, I feel free and in the flow of my business. I'm renewed and excited and fired up with my life right now, today, and tomorrow. So what is your new story? What is your scale? I want you to think about this right now. I'm going to take you through an exercise. I want you to think about your biggest dream. I know you had stuff going on this morning. I know you got places to go after this, but give yourself the gift of the moment right now. And I want you to think about your biggest dream. Close your eyes if you can. Humor me for just a moment. Close your eyes. And I want you to think about the biggest dream possible for your business, for your life. Go to the edges, the outer edges. Expanding further than you ever have in your mind. What is your biggest dream? Visualize that for a moment. Hold on to that. You got it? You got it? You've got that picture now? I want you to triple that. Triple that. That, ladies and gentlemen, is thinking big. So if that took your breath away in that moment, when you took your big dream and tripled it, that's good. Because that opportunity for you right now, in the midst of change, in the midst of upheaval, is waiting for you. I had the opportunity last year to spend some time with Richard Branson. And I love what Richard Branson does in the world. He makes a difference in all of his foundations and the things that he cares about, just like you all are with March of Dimes. And I said, Richard, I always thought I was a big thinker, but when I look at you, you think on a whole other planet, a whole other trajectory. And he said, Allison, we only have so many days on this earth. So you might as well go right for the top. So let me ask you, are you going for the top? You all are creating miracles with March of Dimes. But you've got to remember that you're also a miracle. You as a leader. And you have more miracles to impact the world with. Scaling is stepping into your greatness. I'm Allison Maslin. Thank you very much.
Allison, thank you. We've learned so much from you today and your journey as a female visionary in a cutthroat business world. And speaking of journey, so many of us here today have experienced not only career journeys, but also the NICU journey, an emotional roller coaster that really stays with you for life. Here's my family's story as told by my colleague and friend, Christy Kruger.
Tonight, Local 10's Christy Kruger takes a look at the personal side of Lori and how it's driven a passion to help others.
Good evening, I'm Lori Jennings.
Professionally, Lori is used to being thrust into the limelight, but her personal life became very public during her engagement and marriage to Josh Salmon.
I definitely was meant to come to South Florida because I met my tall, dark, and handsome here. We met at a charity event at a Feast Among the Grapes at the old Sheraton Bal Harbor, and we spotted each other and we never let go.
Soon after their marriage, Lori and Josh became expectant parents.
We got pregnant right out of the bat, and it was triplets.
But the joy soon turned to heartbreak. At 19 and a half weeks, Lori miscarried.
Everyone told me it was so healthy, everything was great, but I have to just trust that God knew better, that it wasn't meant to be.
7 months later, she found herself pregnant again, this time with twin boys who were born prematurely at 24 and a half weeks.
It was really early, so they were 4.5 months early. And that meant that we spent, 4.5 months in the NICU every single night.
Luke and Jake struggled to survive. 1 month in, Jake almost died.
And all I could do was just put my hands on that incubator and just sing. And I just sang for just felt like forever.
A team of specialists helped Jake pull through, and this frightening experience became the foundation for a connection to the March of Dimes. In the 2006 March for Babies, a team from the former Continental Airlines dedicated their efforts to Lori and her boys.
And I said, when I got out and these boys made it, I said, I'm going to now give my time to March of Dimes.
She's just a giving individual. She's giving of her time, her talent, and her voice.
Every year, for more than a decade, Lori takes part in the annual walks in both Miami-Dade and Broward counties.
It's important to her to reach everyone, to hear their stories and to share with such a compassionate heart.
A compassionate heart that will continue to care no matter where life takes her. I'm Christy Kruger, Local 10 News.
Isn't that the truth?
Thank goodness they made it. You can see in that magazine article now, they're so tall and they're growing and healthy, but you know, as with all preemies, there's a lot of OT, PT, speech. I mean, it's a lot, and so many families, they don't always come home. So we're really, really blessed. I'm glad to report my boys are now 14, taller than I am, and doing very well. Thank goodness. So where does March of Dimes play into all of this? Well, they have 6 prematurity research centers where teams of brilliant minds from a range of disciplines look for answers, and they share discoveries to transform our understanding of preterm birth, what causes it, and most importantly, how to prevent it. Each of us can join the fight to improve the health of all moms and babies by giving and supporting March of Dimes and those 6 research centers. With your help, March of Dimes can and will create a world where every baby has the opportunity to thrive and every family has the best possible start. Just text BABY, dollar amount, and your name to 41444 to make a donation. And once you text the number, you'll receive a virtual form to fill out with your donation information. So let's get started. And oh my gosh, right off the bat, Elaine Vasquez, thank you, a $2,500 gift. Who will join Elaine to help March of Dimes continue with this cutting edge research? I know it's a big ask, but it's all about healthy moms and strong babies. Special thanks to Rick Case Auto Group and Deb Smyers for already committing at the $2,500 level. We all miss Rick in our community so much, but his tremendous legacy of giving back lives on through Rita, his grown children, and the Rick Case Auto Group. Thank you so much. And you can give at any level. Any donation helps. Susie Levan, a $1,000 donation. Wow, thank you. Dr. Elaine Wallace coming in with $500. Thank you, let's keep it going. You can check out the giving thermometer, see how close we're getting to our event goal. When communities work together, we can really help families get the best possible start today and for generations to come. Thank you, everyone, for being so generous today. Your gifts are critical to the ongoing success of March of Dimes, to fight for every family. We can't thank you enough for coming together in this virtual way when moms and babies need us the most during these challenging times. And do know the giving by text is going to stay open throughout the weekend. It's available for you and your gifts until Sunday night. So make sure to check the chat to see the name of the winner of the chance drawing. Also, don't miss it. The lucky winner will be contacted by March of Dimes. And what do you say we bring on the chair of our 2021 Women of Distinction, a close friend to so many of us, the one and only Susie Levan.
Hello, my name is Susie Levan, and I am a proud previous honoree of Women of Distinction. They asked me to tell you a little bit about me. I am Chief Soul Officer of my company, Beehive Publishing. As you can see, I'm into bees, and Susie Levan and Associates. A couple things about me that you probably don't know is that I'm an obsessed knitter. I have 5 children and 12 grandchildren. Amazing, beautiful, and smart, of course. So I'm very happy to be here and looking forward to being the new chair for 2021. My love and light to all of you. Thank you.
Your support means so much, Susie. We're already looking forward to next year. Thank you. On behalf of March of Dimes, I'm Lori Jennings. Thank you for being here and being part of our first ever virtual Women of Distinction. The giving text is open for you all weekend long, so please give real consideration to what you can give this challenging year. Our 2020 Women of Distinction have each helped raise crucial dollars. Thank you for doing that, and congratulations on your honor. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe and well, most importantly, and we hope to see you all soon in person. Here's to healthy moms and strong babies. Here's to March of Dimes.